It's Money Mike on a Freaky Friday hanging out with Jam and Jay. Brother Jay. Me and Jay used to jam out back in the day, and we're going to do it live tonight with you. And we got the music going with you in the background. This is for JW. You wanted it, you got it, and we're doing it live and worldwide. 2 shots right here, baby. Metal Edge and concert shots back from 1989. What more can you ask? In prime condition. It's Brother Jay in the background here, so what we're going to do is lower the music a little bit and get into the mags and then kind of go from there. We did this before, like a few different times, and Brother Jay, he checked it out, he liked it. He's going to fill in a little bit tonight and, go over what we're talking about in each magazine. So the first one we're going to start off with is concert shots, and on the cover page here you can see again, prime condition, life size, pull out, Bon Jovi, Nixie 6, and this is going back to 1989 in May of 1989. And right here it says Poison, the next crew. Jay, yo, what do you think about Poison being the next crew? Do you think they ever made it to being the next Motley Crue, or was that just kind of like they were hanging out on the side and Motley Crue was always like the big shots, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they were the next. They tried to be the next Motley Crue. They were who they were. They had their own style.
Right.
Right. Crue's Motley Crue. Bon Jovi's Bon Jovi.
Right.
Hard to decipher those two.
So you're saying Poison's you're thinking in your mind Poison's definitely not the next Motley Crue. They were both different in their own way. They were both one band was a lot of fun, another band was a little bit darker, do you think? Or I mean, how do you think of it that way?
I would say that Motley Crue is a lot bit darker than
Poison. Right.
Bon Jovi and
Poison, and because that was right there on the front cover of that. It says Poison, the next Motley Crue with a cover shot.
Right.
So how would you take it? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, what would you think? I mean...
Well, whoever wrote that article was a jackass. It just doesn't make sense because...
Right, there were 2 different bands, right?
Back then,
right.
You didn't know if, who was going to be who, which way they were heading.
And actually, you didn't know how long they were going to last.
Well, Poison was going to go to the dark side, or...
Yeah, well, you didn't know how long these guys were going to last. So.
You never know, and Motley Crue was always on the dark side. They stayed that way.
Yeah, they didn't change their image, right? I mean, for the most part, they didn't. For the most part, they didn't change their image.
No, hell no.
No. All right. So.
I think they stayed the same.
All right. So there you go. You heard it from Brother Jay. That's what he says. That's his opinion. That's what he thinks. So we're gonna go on, and on the top here, we're gonna show the cover again here just a little bit, so actually everybody can see it and know where we're going with this. And it looks like a ticket from back then. He was the man. Hey, we had one, right? Well, yeah. I mean, you want to get paid, right? You want to get where it is. I mean, you guys can take a quick look at that. I'm going to show you the pages as we go here, like I promised. I think it's JW that I seen on here really quick. There's one subscriber that popped up. So I'm going to try to show you this as we go. And there's the Kevin DeBro one. All right, so let me just go through that. There's much going on with King Cobra. They were there. Here he is, the guitar legend from Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora. Had all the licks back in the day. And then another shot of Robin Crosby from Rat, Guitar Hero also. So, Jay, what do you think? Richie Sambora, Robin Crosby, of Rat. And he's doing his own version of Rat with Juan of Rat as far as the bass player. And so right now you got 2 versions of Rat.
So, back in the day, they were big stars by then.
Right.
Oh, it's one of those things.
So what do you think, Jay, about the two versions of Rat right now? Since we're on Rat, that's a big subject right now with all these different bands.
Personally, I think they're jackass rats. Steve Piercy caused all that trouble. And,
Well, he did. You're right. He did. We were talking about him and Bobby Blotzer, splitting up the two versions of Rat, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I mean, you got two versions of Rat.
All their bullshit that they had going on.
So right now, officially, you got four live members of Rat. One of them is not playing at all, which is Warren DiMartini, the main guitar player.
Yeah.
You got Stephen Piercy singing,
Right.
and you got Juan Crozier playing bass with Stephen Piercy, and you got Bobby Blotzer playing drums in his own version.
Exactly.
So you got two versions of Rat, you got two versions of LA Guns. So bottom line, Jay, what do you think about all these two versions of bands these days? Still making money, still going on tour, making us all happy because we love to see them live.
Personally, I think it's gone too far. Yeah, they want to still rock and roll and do their own thing, but it's just, it comes to the point where enough's enough, Either do one or the other.
Do one or the other, or just kind of give it up?
Give it up.
So what do you think about all these farewell tours? You got Kiss, you got Leonard Skinner, and you got Peter Frampton. They're all saying farewell, this is it, goodbye, see ya.
All these bands.
View on that one, because he was looking pretty frail. I mean, as good as they sounded, and they did sound good,
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe he had a lot to play in that, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course.
Some of these
Yeah.
pictures here and updates. Jay, I'm going to start just going through some of these for the viewers so they can see it. All right, so there we go. I'm pointing this down here a little bit. JW, it looks like you're tuning in live because I can see you on there.
JW.
Yeah, Jay, why don't you say hi to JW?
Hey, JW.
JW, I know you're a big fan. This is my bro, Jay. And he was in the bands back in the day with me, and we hung out. We did all this kind of stuff. I know you appreciate it, and you're probably a little younger and stuff like that. But we're glad you're.
Yeah, well, that's how we started. We started,
Right.
Mike had a freaking guitar before I did.
Okay, tell him how it is.
I broke a few strings on him. Just that me, But that's how I got to pick up the guitar. Was through it. So I got a lot of credit to give Brother Mike.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Right.
That's how I started playing guitar. I mean, a lot of magazines, a lot of
Right.
wanting to play this, that. So it all worked out.
It all worked out. It was fun. We had a lot of good times. Went to a lot of functions together. We played in a couple different bands together. With a few different guys that we were mutual friends with back in '89. And Robin Crosby. Here you go. There's another shot of that. I'm gonna keep flipping through that. There's Juan Krause here. There's Warren DiMartini with his Charvel snakeskin guitar with the Floyd Rose. Jay, what'd you think about those Floyd Roses? I mean, you're playing one right now. You're playing the same guitar as I am.
Exactly.
So did you have a problem with that? Is that a big problem?
I had Jackson in that freaking Floyd Rose. I could rank on that thing and it would never break a string. It wouldn't even go out of tune. I mean, it was a great guitar.
So you.
Floyd Rose is great.
All right, so you're saying that it doesn't matter. I mean, you're fine with a Floyd Rose. You don't have to tune it 10 different times during the week or anything like that.
No, I would never. No.
All right.
No.
So there we go. There's a Marshall stack. There's his dude right next to it, like, clear as day. And there's Michael Wilton with his guitar.
Freaking stacks were so prevalent that what was it? The
JCM, right? JCM and something like that.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to Queensryche here. Back in '89, they weren't as popular, correct?
I would say so.
Yeah, they weren't part of that whole scene back then.
Nobody had the money for that shit back then.
All right, there you go.
Rockstar.
Well, Queensryche, didn't you think like Queensryche back then? They were like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
they were kind of odd, right? Don't you think they were kind of odd?
Exactly. Well, I mean, you would have had, you know, if you were just starting band and shit, I mean, nobody had money, you know, I mean,
Right.
those things that came with it was like, geez, everybody Floyd Rose, you know, I
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
wanted that shit.
so when Queen,
I loved it.
so what do you think about Queensryche back then with Jeff Tate with his high voice and all that? Do you think that was kind of different from what everything that was going on back then, like 1989?
To catch on to that, I really, it was more ballad shit and like,
Right.
you know, it took me a while to actually appreciate music, but
Right.
there, you know, any genre of music or any, you know,
Okay.
down for. So,
All right, so let's move on from that. We got a couple more pages.
so prevalent back then.
Okay.
I mean, I think everybody had one. If they didn't, then
Right.
I mean, you weren't in the in crowd.
Right.
I mean, they sounded so good.
Well, that was the thing, right? It was either Marshall. What else was there back then? Peavy, right?
It was yeah, but everybody gravitated. And a lot of these bands still play with.
To move on, there it is, Jake E. Lee, and he played with a lot of different guys. Obviously, he played with Ozzy Osbourne on the Bark of the Moon album. Jake, what do you think of the Bark of the Moon album? Because that's the first real heavy metal album I ever heard, and with our buddy Chuck
Oh,
Chuck Brum.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to say his last,
No, that when that album came out, I mean, that was the freshest shit that could have come out at that time.
I mean,
Especially with him on guitar, it was like a nightmare.
I couldn't believe this guy, Jake E. Lee, no whammy bar, no nothing, with everything coming out of that.
He didn't need it.
He didn't need it, evidently.
No, I mean,
He played that's all he played is that Charvel there. There it is right there. There's a picture of it. Back in the day, we'll agree on that.
right.
All right, and then you had Night Ranger, which we all know the main song back in the day from proms and all this kind of stuff with Sister Christian. I mean, what can you say about a Night Ranger, right? They were top of the charts back then, still kind of.
Airplay, and you hear it all the time on, you know,
Right,
all these stations on the radio.
exactly.
You can't get away from it.
You can't get away from it, so obviously they were doing something right.
Hell yeah.
Still prevalent today. I mean, you hear they're on tour all the time, and Sammy Hagar talks about them even on Access TV and stuff like that. So, I mean, these guys are still hanging out. There's a lot of those bands that are still hanging out, prevalent today, and don't worry, not everybody's retiring. A lot of these guys are still hanging out and still will be for a long time. So
Yeah, we'll be there.
they'll be there.
They're relatively young, 50s, you know, I mean.
And look at Sammy Hagar. He's 70, still touring with his boys. So.
Isn't that fucked up, man?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these guys are saying
Out drinking fucking Cabo Wabo.
Cabo Wabo. He drinks that tequila. He keeps him strong, keeps his heart healthy, and that
What are you doing, this guy?
it works for. I gotta throw this out here, Jay. As I'm going through these pages,
Yeah.
I can't believe how they're like brand new.
Well, I was just getting
Or over this page. I just ran my finger over this page right now.
It's like actually paper back then was even they were thicker. It seemed like.
Was it better then?
I have no idea, man. But
I'm literally for whoever's watching. I literally ran my finger over this page.
no shit in there.
I literally ran my finger over this page. Like if you were gonna smoke, because because this is insane. I ran my finger over this page and I could literally feel everything on it. Like this is what you want.
Fucking cut your finger off.
Yeah, if you wanted a rock magazine, this is what you would have bought.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
Fucking nuts.
Sammy Hagar. And there's the boys from Scorpions, right in the middle of the magazine there.
They had their time.
Longest time.
They were Dream Theater's a modern day Scorpions, I think.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you with that. There you go. That's a good analogy.
I mean,
You can go with that. Go with it if you want. Yeah.
I think I always thought that was like,
Scorpions had some pretty deep songs, catchy songs, but so do Dream Theater. But on the other end, Dream Theater may be more technical, but through more than halfway through the first.
You gotta show more of the picture there. Everybody can't see it.
Can you see this song or?
But you gotta point. I don't know.
All right. Here we go. Oh, so I'm gonna show this one full view. All right. And there's Bruce Kulick, and that's the next guy here. So he's part of the the whole Kiss final tour, farewell tour, and that's.
I think kind of after him, before him, you couldn't replace him.
Here's a.
I mean, come on.
Right. Well, you had Ace, you had you had a lot of the guys in Kiss. You had Ace, you had Vinnie Vincent, you had Bruce Kulick, Tommy,
Great songs.
and now Tommy Thayer.
Yeah, of course, but you just I don't know. It took the wind out of them a little bit, but they still fucking made hits.
They still made hits no matter who's in the band. I think Kiss could still go on, and they could replace every single one of those guys with the same makeup, and they can make money off of it just by putting younger guys in their costumes. That's all they got to do.
Just have Gene Simmons come out in a wheelchair.
Oh, well, for Christ's sakes, why not? Well, here's a full shot anyways. We'll do a full shot of Jakey Lee. He's actually the middle of the magazine. He's dead center in the middle of the magazine. And what do you think? Why do you think he's probably in the middle of the magazine, Jay?
Oh, I mean, at that time, he was fucking rock god.
There you go. Here it is. Full shot, middle of the magazine. He's playing
What year that would have been, I mean.
purple blue Charvel with the slanted pickups. He had them all slanted.
He didn't have that much, man. This guy just allowed.
Dude, he had slanted pickups. He had no whammy bar, but he did have a humbucker and 2 slanted single coils.
Now, he didn't need much to play this guy.
So he didn't fall with Kevin DeBro.
Right.
They weren't really doing too much. They were on their way out. They knew the writing was on the wall.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It wasn't working out. Just to show a few more pictures for the guys that are watching here. All right, there's another one. There we go. And let me.
You gotta remember, you don't see any Aerosmith in these magazines, do you?
Not in this one. Not in the next one. I've had other ones, but you know what? At that time and that age, they weren't as hot as all these guys were. This was it. You turn on MTV night and day. This is all you heard.
I think yeah.
You remember that? That's all you heard back.
They came back in the 90s.
You're right. They came back in the early 90s. They kind of popped back in. But right here's one of the subjects that he's talking about, and Kevin DeBro says right here in the magazine, he says, the feeling of playing live in front of an audience is the best feeling there is next to sex. So, I mean, if you have anybody in front of you, you're playing live, you don't want to make a mistake, you're running on adrenaline, and Brother Jay knows just as well as I do. You got people in front of you, you want to play the best you can. I mean, you don't want to look like an idiot, so.
Right. Well, see, that magazine especially, I think, it wasn't more toward the metal, it was more toward the rock.
Right, I think this was just in general then.
Yeah, it was, because, they didn't have.
I barely. Well, the one we're going over right now, this concert shots. I vaguely remember this being like a big magazine.
It had freaking glam metal, death metal.
Yeah, I don't remember
concert. It wasn't popular.
No. Right. So I'm gonna show some pictures only because, it's in there. and you know we got only so many mags to go through, and I do want to show some of this stuff. So.
See, these little rubber bands back in the 80s, like social distortion,
And they were popular too.
you know, I mean, they were a little bit underground. You know,
Yeah, but
that was the 80s. I mean, it was a band, but
right.
but, you know, the Clash.
Right.
It did, but they didn't get their
Okay.
recognition, you know, these guys, because that's all it was you know, pop rock type, you know.
Well, here we go. I mean, what else could we say about these guys? I'm going to show the picture first, and we'll kind of just go from there. And it's Guns N' Roses. They kind of made their debut back then. It was 1989. It was at the height of the hair metal hard rock scene. They put a torch under the hair metal scene and kind of lighted everyone hardcore. We're going to do like a Rolling Stones version of hard rock, heavy metal.
All right.
And then that was it. That was the starting point, don't you think? Before Nirvana came in and kind of killed everything.
Well, Red Hot Chili Peppers had Mother's Milk in '89 too.
Well, and there you go. People forget about that, and that caught on. That's kind of started. That was a sleeper. That was a sleeper that people that started putting it in people's brains back then. That okay, it's not just hair metal anymore. Here it is.
It's not just ballads.
It's not ballads. It's not hard rock.
It started actually going away from that, you know.
All right.
Even Ministry, like Ministry was out in '88, so it's. You know,
Well, see, there you go.
it's crazy, but you know, you got to think they were focused on hair metal bands
Right.
back in the '80s. You would figure, unless you know you knew somebody that had this type of music or played it for you.
Right.
There was
Basically, Guns N' Roses came on in 1989, kicked everybody's ass.
they just destroyed everybody.
So they destroyed everything, started a whole new hard rock, more or less, scene,
Yeah.
and then kind of left. So do you think they kind of left the whole hair metal thing in the past when that happened? Or
Hell no. If you look at fucking Axl Rose's first video.
right? Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I know he was behind, but they weren't ready to give it up either.
All right. All right.
Saying they were still holding on to that fact.
Right.
You know, that's what was popular at the time. So what do you do? You know, I mean, you got to fit in.
You got it. So we're just gonna go over a few of these pages. Just let it go, let it rip, and that's it.
That's it. I would.
Right here it says, while waiting for Motley Crue, and then the next segment goes, by the time this reaches your hot little hands, there will most likely be a new Motley Epley. But while we here are waiting anxious in anticipation, let's look back on those LA metalheads who single-handedly gave metal a whole new name. Hey, we didn't say it was a good name. So basically, you know, the magazine saying, oh, Motley Crue bad boys, blah, blah, blah. If you've seen the documentary on Netflix, I mean, that kind of says it all, right?
I would file. Holy shit.
Oh, take some more pictures first before we say anymore. Look at CC, Jackson Guitars at the time. He's wearing Jackson Guitars t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. There's your Floyd Rose, because you love it.
Yeah.
All right, so
There he is. He's got one.
there's Ricky Rocket, plays in zillion cymbals, as he always says.
You know, I mean, he came up with.
All right, Jay, did you not like Poison, or did you like Poison?
You know what? I didn't, but then I don't know. It kind of
Here's some more
I don't know,
pictures.
'cause it was all over the place.
All right, I gotta show some more pictures
Hear it.
for the video. I gotta show some more pictures, so I can't not show the pictures.
You know, they're singing, you gotta stay tough. And
Hey, you know what? This is why I have to have feedback. It can't just be one person. This is why I have Brother Jay on. Because if I said, you know, hey, you know, they got this video, this, that, you know, it made me want to start playing guitar or this, that. And you got Brother Jay saying something like this. And he's right, too, though. You know what I'm saying? So he's got his point.
back then,
Right,
Civil
right,
service.
right. I
Who
mean,
knows what they did?
who knows? Here's some more pictures. Let's get through this though. I gotta show it only because we wanted. I promised it, and there we go. I'm gonna show it.
Man, look at those pages. They're so damn crisp.
Right, dude. I'm telling you, these pages are like.
And I don't see any yellowish. So
There's
I mean,
nothing.
you still
Jay,
open a fucking vacuum?
Jay, look at this.
You vacuum seal these?
No, I didn't. They're hanging. Guess where they were?
Oh my
They were in a gym bag.
You're kidding.
No, look at the glossiness on this.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god.
ZZ Top.
I wouldn't even have a picture left if it'd be all torn and.
I'm gonna kind of end on this really quick. I don't want to talk much about them because, I mean, they had like 3 hits that were on MTV, and here it is, Hurricane. You can kind of see it. If you watched MTV back then, you've probably seen it on Headbangers Ball.
You had to have a pink guitar too.
Jay kind of summed it up on that, and I'm gonna end it at that. If you want to know about Hurricane, I'm sure you can look it up. But here it is, though. Check this out on the on the back cover, Jay. Rock video, Quiet Riot, bang thy head. Here it is, up close.
Closer. Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
What do you want for that?
in yellow. It says "Bang Thy Head." They're asking 1995 back in 1989.
You're kidding.
Nope.
Holy shit, that's like $3 today.
It says right here. It says Quiet Riot, Bang Thy Head, available in digital audio on VHS Hi-Fi.
High five. Isn't that special?
Yeah. So there it is. I do want to show you guys that because that's kind of a gem from back then. And here's the front cover with the Poison on the front cover because obviously 1989. That's what you're going to be looking at.
You're right.
All right, there's one down. All right, hold on here.
Well,
Metal Edge calendar. Metal Edge was huge back then. This is one of the magazines you always got to see what was hot and what was not, and as far as gear was that sort of thing.
see, Metal Edge, you would get more Metallica. You would get
Yeah, right. You get everything that was really hot back then.
Metallica in the same magazine with Poison and.
Right. Well, here you go. Let's take a look at the front cover and kind of.
There's the guy in the front right there in the circle.
All right. So in the middle, it's Duff from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Then you got Lars right next to Ozzy Osbourne.
What is he doing for it?
And then you got Rat in the lower left-hand corner. You got You got Brittany Fox at the bottom. Remember Brittany Fox at all?
Come on, shit, yeah.
And there's Poison again because at that time that was all you seen was Poison.
Oh, of course.
Poison and Bon Jovi. Poison and Bon Jovi.
It says down in the corner, Striper. Oh,
Whereabouts you seeing that?
that bottom right-hand corner there.
Let me hold on.
Jeez,
Partying with White Line. Hey, look at this. Hot contests. Win Kiss LP's autographed photos from Def Leppard, Cinderella, Striper.
I cannot believe you still have this.
Look at this. Look at that.
That is nutty. Holy shit. Motley Crue, I'll look back. What, it was only a couple of years since they were.
Yeah, so what year is it now? Here it is. It says right here, TV Picture Life Metal Edge, Volume 33, Number 8, February 1989.
Number 8?
Number 8. So you got, all right, so really quick.
Bring back. Holy
Okay, so here we go. We'll go through the front thing and we'll go through them all really quick. All right, so Guns N' Roses, Mike Tramp, Lita Ford, Bret Michaels, Rudy Sarzo, Ozzy Osbourne, Zakk Wylde, Striper, Duff McKagan, Ozzy Osbourne, Warrant, Anthrax, Rat.
damn fucking people, yeah.
Right, Quiet Riot. Yeah, say what you got to say. Quiet Riot, Kicks, George Lynch, Hurricane. There's Hurricane again. Jay.
I see that band is
So
lost from my mind.
so how are they showing up in two magazines that we didn't think they were that great then?
I have no idea.
That's two mag.
Well, that was their time now. So
So somehow they hung on a little bit.
well, I can't remember. Did they have a hit song or some shit?
It was Hurricane. That was the only one.
That was it, right?
That was it.
So I mean, I don't remember any other hit songs from them.
I just can't remember them being that popular. They were.
That was a while ago. I have to do my research.
I mean, if that's the only one we remember, that I mean, I can't.
Right.
My problem is how did they make it to both magazines on one song? All right. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we got L.A. Guns. You got Britney Fox, of course, Metallica. Winger was huge back then. Tom Kiefer. You got him from Cinderella. What do you think, Ozzy and Zach Wilde? Look at Zach.
Wouldn't go on after Randy Rhoads and all these other guitar players.
Some reason it helped him move on.
In that day and age,
Right.
he had to have Zach Wilde.
And it helped him move on, I think.
So underrated
Right.
player, which really bombed.
Great tour to be on, but it's gonna be nice to take a break. First two tours, they toured with the most notorious bands you probably could have ever toured with. Aerosmith and Motley Crue.
Yeah, like I said, my homework on this shit.
So-
They did play with.
So they learned the hard way from both of these bands that they're doing a lot more than that and everything else. So that's what kind of put a damper on things towards the end for those guys because they had problems in the end with Steven Adler.
So you know what? Well, yeah. Those were weird times.
Weird times for sure. All right, let's get through some of these. A lot of this stuff I will show you because it came up in all these magazines. Here's the LP contest. Kiss LP contest, the Motley Crue official magazine. A lot of contests they had back then that you could fill your.
They just seem like with one of those.
Yeah, you could fill your name out, fill out a postcard, and
Right.
you might win.
They do want a contest where you could win free subscriptions and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think all these magazines had something like that.
Right. It didn't look like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it truly does.
You
That's
hear a song on the radio, you think back.
where you were, what you were doing. Again, it goes to prove how big they were at the time. And let's go through some of the pictures here.
Right.
I'm not going to go through a lot of these questions and answers because a lot of the stuff these are still out there and stuff. And
Well, I can imagine how much they're worth.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, it's how many years old,
yeah. I mean, you're looking at 1989 till now, and
So, I mean, and having the condition you bought them in is
in good condition. Fairly well like these.
They don't make these kind of magazines. When's the last time you read a magazine?
Yeah, you don't. That's the thing. You really don't.
When's the last time you read
In the rock world is the guitar magazines, like Guitar World. So if you're not picking up Guitar World,
They still make fab temperature magazines.
yeah, right.
Like Guitar World, or I think they do. I'm not even sure anymore.
Well, here we go. We're on to Rat again.
Where'd you buy 'em?
Well, yeah, you gotta hit up Barnes and Nobles and those types of places.
Like that. Where would you buy a guitar magazine?
I think that's where you gotta go. Is like a Barnes and Noble. They still have all those. Really, other than that, that's all you're gonna get. It's like a CD. It's like you said. It's history. To have it in your hands.
Shit that you got a cassette, dude. I'm still freaking amazed that you got all that shit.
You know what? And here it is. We'll pull up a stack of those cassettes.
You gotta go through it. People would be stunned to see some of the shit that you got.
And we're talking about cassettes that we listened to back in the day that you guys are all interested in. So we'll go over those. We'll pull out the cassette. We'll actually show you that the tape is still in good condition. We'll bring it down here. We'll play it through the tape deck. So I mean, well, I'll show you exactly that they all still work fine.
They
Uh,
were perfect.
They work perfectly. They look good. They work perfectly, and I'll show you the inserts because that was a huge thing back then. You bought a new tape, you opened it up, and it had that certain smell to it. It was like
Isn't that right?
there's something about that smell with a new
It was
cassette.
like that nostalgia, you know.
Oh, totally.
You know, it just came out and I got it.
And I got it right.
You know,
You're playing.
it wasn't like it was back then.
Nah.
Close at all.
So here we go. We're gonna finish this up here. This middle. We're in the middle of the magazine with Rat. And again, what more can you say? There was a Reach for the Sky album. They said that was more or less the downfall for them too. Ooh, you're talking the fall of it was probably in 1990.
Oh, as far as as far as their yeah, really,
Because right here it says Motley Crue a look back.
right.
They're already saying a look back.
I'll look back, and it wasn't even 10 years.
You're talking about, and you know, I was there. I walked in there. It's smaller than you might think, and
They were always smaller than.
yeah. I mean, if you've been to any of your local rock bands at your local bars, I mean these
10 years their bars.
they're yeah. I mean you're looking at I mean just because it's L.A. doesn't mean it's that much bigger. That much glitzier.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they are a bigger stage. The stage itself is bigger, but
Right.
it ain't that much bigger.
Oh, hell no. It kind of takes away from all that.
Right.
Clubs. You don't see, any of these bands. I mean, I'm sure there's some that do, because they're not on the biggest screen right now.
Right.
But I'm sure they still do. But it's not the connection they used to get back then when you went to see them.
It's just not, and I don't think we'll ever see that again.
No, it's done.
Because now that all these guys are retiring, there's really nobody left.
No, how bad you want to see them for $150 is, that's the question.
All right. So do you think like There's George Lynch though. That's a good picture of George Lynch, and he's playing that.
Smoking bread and butter.
Yeah, he's playing that
Really great
ES.
one. He probably could have joined ISIS band.
Oh yeah, easily. That's a good idea. That's a good point right there. That's a good
I
point.
thought about that. I was like, shit.
Wow, never thought of that. Wow, what a good fit.
Kind of similar to Wild.
Totally with the way. Here we go. I gotta show you this. I gotta show you this because here they are again. Hurricane.
They're still showing them in that night.
Yeah, dude, full page. Full page.
Oh my god.
So they had Over the Edge and they had Hurricane. I mean, if anybody's, I don't know how many people are going to be watching or whatever, but let's go back and try to find these videos because, I mean, I vaguely remember them, and I do remember seeing them.
Fucking absolute, man. I'm sure people have that shit out there.
So
Throw
what was going?
population.
You got the bass player playing a BC Rich. You got the guitar player playing Ibanez. So kind of a little mix.
I think they need
His son didn't make sense with it.
going.
Yeah, what was going on?
To get them going.
What the hell? Nothing happened there, right?
Back in a face or something.
That was it. Nothing happened, right? That was about it. Those two songs.
Shit going on. I don't know. Faded away quick.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. You weren't into music because you had to have a little diversity
Right.
back then. You can't be. For me, it wasn't all metal. It wasn't all.
No, and I think we.
I mean, but that playing all these other bits. You gotta have diversity. To
Right.
appreciate that damn music.
I mean, I got to be honest. Back then, in that time frame, probably between 84 to 90.
Right.
I listened to everything. It wasn't just one. I listened to Testament one day. I listened to L.A. Guns the next day.
You got me into it.
They had a lot of, they had a couple of those hit songs there for a little bit.
Another band I kind of just like.
Yeah, they blended in, just like you said, with everybody
I
else.
guarantee you got a freaking.
I got it though. I got it on cassette.
I know you do.
Amazing. Oh, I'm just gonna go through some more quick pages here, but That's not too
Oh,
much.
you got one ripped out, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm
So
gonna.
you gonna hang that one on the wall?
This was probably one of the ones I was going to hang on the wall. Don't ask me why, but especially because it's Winger.
Oh, winger.
So yeah, don't ask me why that was even
Brother
ripped.
band.
Oh, hold on. I guess some people subscribing here, Jay.
No.
All right, there's 2 people. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, that's magazine. We already did one, and definitely appreciate.
Check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Listen to Brother Jay. I mean,
Who
he's
has
got.
these magazines anymore? Hardly anybody, unless you can find them on Amazon, but you're not gonna find them in somebody's house, that has them, a lot of them.
Right, right,
In condition, good.
right.
So,
So here it is, and we're going through the end of this, and Jay's just trying to describe what we're doing here, and we got more to go through, and we'll do that, and we'll do the cassettes too, but
maybe get on some sports and politics after.
yeah, well, we're gonna go on to that after, and for right now we're gonna finish this up. But there's the Metallica.
Get this through.
And there's Europe. You say Metallica. You said you're right. So you said the Injustice for All tour kind of did it for Jason Newsted, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
And there we go. There's Metal Edge front cover again, just for the new guys that are
You listen
tuning in.
to, they remixed, there's people that had remixed that album, and
Loud.
you like the Injustice for All album, you gotta look for the edited version where they bring up the bass for Newstead, and
Right.
it's just beautiful. It sounds like it should have sounded,
Okay.
but they cut them off. They just totally cut them out, which sucks.
And we were all thinking about this, and we've all had our reasons about this. Why do you think they would have done that on that particular album for any reason? If they needed a bass player and needed a tour live with a bass player, why do you think they would have did that on the album and had to go out on tour? And did they do the same thing out on tour? Did they like pull the plug on him? Did they like turn it down so he could just hear it and not the audience? How did that work out, do you think?
He said in interviews that they still wasn't really comfortable with him, and it was like Metallica is Lars and James's band.
Right. We know that. We know that.
Kurt Hammett is great, but who writes the music is James and Lars.
Right.
And him being a newcomer, how can you replace Cliff Burton? You can't.
Right.
So, they gave him hell for it. And I think that's wasn't deserving, from the bands he came from, Flotsam and Jetsam and shit like that. So it's like, it was a black eye for him.
Okay. So he would see it.
They didn't give him enough credit in the beginning.
Never do, man. Never do.
Why he left,
Right.
his differences, of course, he made the wrong mistake. But
I think you made the wrong mistake anyways for him.
listen to Metallica now.
Right. Well, they could have gone a lot longer, and I think they would have actually, if they stuck with him instead of filling with.
How do you mean?
So there it is, Mike and Brother Jay talking about those 2 metal magazines. We did. We'll show the first one again here really quick. Concert shots.
Jeez, in pristine condition.
Jay, tell them about it.
How much you want for it? I'll give
Jay,
how much you want right now.
Jay, tell them about it. Give them the overshoot here.
What about your records? You don't even have your records. Do you have records?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, jeez. Where you been hiding this shit? Fucking vault somewhere.
I don't know. Georgie's seen some of this stuff. All right, so there's concert shots from 1989. Was that February? No, that was May.
May?
This one was May. All right. All right, so this one was May 1989. Okay,
Yeah, May.
May. Okay, and then what else did we have? We had Metal Edge, right? We just did Metal Edge.
No Edge.
All right, so we did Metal Edge, and this one was from what, February? February 1980. So you had one in the summer. You had one that closed it out in
Right.
in '89,
Yep.
and on the back there's the guys from Def Leppard. I can't believe how glossy these still are, which is just weird to me. I don't know how they are talking about.
I just don't see it.
It's like,
You just borrow them from like someone, a collector.
well, I wish I did, but I
I
didn't.
know you have.
Yeah.
You've had them forever. I just don't know how they're in that.
I have. I agree, man.
It came away pretty quick after the album release because
Right.
obviously you couldn't hear them.
Well, I think he made his money. He proved his point. He could definitely play. There's no doubt about it. Once I heard that mix and the bass in it, I said, "Well, there's something up here for whatever reason."
Well, and it's not just him playing guitar. He can sing. I mean, he's got a lot of talent and they throw it out there.
Right, he'll throw it out there for you. So, in any case, we thank you guys for watching. Muddy Mike, Brother Jay is out, and we'll see you guys. All right. Thanks for watching. Good night.